Hi everybody, let's talk about my January 2020, I know, TBR. Welcome to Stagey Bookish. Hey BookTube, how are you? Happy New Year! That's weird, isn't it? So welcome to 2020, welcome back to Stagey Bookish. Thank you for sticking with me in what is the start of my 7th month here on BookTube. Starting off the new year with a good way, methinks. But yes, welcome to my January TBR. It is really weird to be saying that. So weird to be saying that. But here we are. With regards to my TBRs, you would have seen as far as my goals for this year, trying to read a lot more backlist titles because your girl is poor. But I also am going to be building in some new titles, be they from subscription boxes, be they from e-arcs, a few of which I want to talk to you about today. But also just prioritising mood reading. I always want to make sure that I read for fun. I don't read because I have to, because that's when it becomes not fun and it becomes really, really boring. So that is also something I'm trying to do for myself this year. You know, just share the love of what I read and maybe share the not so much love as well. Eek. So as far as January goes, what I want to do with this is give you a TBR in the idea. I've got some e-arcs I'd like to share with you. I've got some ideas of things I want to prioritise on my reading list, but a lot of my reading for January, certainly, while I get into the swing of a new year, is going to be mood reading. I am part of some amazing kind of book challenges and book groups, mostly over on Facebook, so big shout out to Fiction Feud Society, Reading Rivalry and the Book It list. Get it? Of which I'm being sorted into a house for, which I'm really excited. But what I tend to do sometimes, if I feel like I want to mood read, what I tend to do is I mood read and then make that fit the challenges. Do you see what I mean? I try and mood read and make it fit the challenges. So let's start off with the books that I'm currently reading. And then kind of some of the books I definitely want to read, and then we'll talk about e-arcs and we'll kind of go from there and see what happens. So the book I'm currently reading, yes, I'm finally reading it. I'm currently reading The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I said in my books I should have read in 2019 but didn't video that there's no reason I've never picked this series up. It's just been there and I've never kind of been drawn to it, but I'm desperate to give it a go because everyone raves about it. Well, most people rave about it. My darling Mel over at Mel to the Enemy, it's her favourite thing ever in the existence of the world, so I want to give it a chance. All good so far. I'm intrigued by it. Will it make me want to pick up the second one? I don't know. But this is my current read. When I finish this, I'm going to go into another one of my books that I am it's one of my 5-star predictions, but I'm so desperate to read. That is the follow-up to Children of Blood and Bone, Children of Virtue and Vengeance. This came out at the start of December, and I mean, look at this cover. It's not the most stunning thing you've ever seen in your life. You hear me? You hear me? This continues on from the story of book 1 with Zelly and her friends. Just really interested to get to it. Also, my edition, which I got from Waterstones, has the most gorgeous blue kind of aqua blue sprayed edges, and I'm just here for it. I'm just absolutely here for it. So there too, I definitely want to prioritise. I've got a lot of e-arcs that are coming out in January, so I've got a lot of these. I'm going to give you the vibe of some of them, but what I will do is I will list all the e-arcs I have down in the comments below, so if you want to go and look them up in more detail, please do. But these are just some of the ones out of I have a very long list. Look, I made myself a notebook, look, of all my, to try and sort out my BookTube life. So for January, I am currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 e-arcs for January. Oh my! I've got to do a lot of reading this month. So because of that, I'm going to mention a few, but then I'm going to put the full list of the e-arcs I have and their release dates down below. Thank you to either NetGalley or Edelweiss, which is where I get all my e-arcs from, for approving me for all of these, and the publishers that have approved me for all of these. I'm very grateful and very blessed, and I don't want to let you down because there's a lot of things on here. Let's run through a few of these. On the 7th, we have got Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Hing Wen. I think this is kind of, this is fun. Like if you like Crazy Rich Asians, you're going to like this. But it's this idea that girl lives in America, messes around, is sent to school, either school or summer school in Taiwan to study Mandarin, and she's sent to this school that her parents think is like this really prestigious, really strict, hard school. But actually, it's more about like partying and fun, and it just really looks like a really fun read for the start of the year. It's also already got on Goodreads a follow-up So I'm interested to see where that goes. Also on the 7th, we have Every Other Weekend by Abigail Johnson. I think this is going to absolutely play on my heartstrings. Two teens who have their own kind of drama and their own emotions and their own kind of angst going on. Both every other weekend have to stay in the building. So they're in the building together in different apartments, but I think it's going to come together and there's going to be angsty romance. And I'm just really, really intrigued by that. These are not in the right order, so I'm going to have to bear with me. On the 7th, we've also got Just Breathe by Cami McGovern. Not an author I've heard of before, but I'm intrigued at this. I'll link the Goodreads down below for this one. On to The Night, I apologise, I haven't written these in any kind of order. The Night, A Throne of Swans by Catherine and Elizabeth Kaur. I want to say this is a Swan Queen retelling, but I might be wrong. I know certainly if a dear friend of mine, Jamie Lee, hello Jamie Lee if you're watching, has told me I need to get this. She's like, you need to read it. It's going to be amazing. She's really into a fantasy as well. Yeah, this intrigues me. Like I said, I will link it down below. We have also got on the 14th, we've got Adam Silvera's first foray into fantasy. That's Infinity Sun, which I've got an e-arc for. 16th, this one, I've just seen a review of this on social media, so I might actually prioritise this, even though it's out later in the month. Foul is Fair by Hannah Cappin. Essentially, three girls get together to go and get revenge on the guy that sexually assaulted one of them. Just sounds amazing. It's very, very, very Macbeth, Three Witches kind of jazz. But I'm totally here for that. That's on the 16th. On the 20th, this is one I might not get to in January because actually it's the second in a series and I haven't read the first one yet. Is Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. The first book in the series was Fix Her Up, which I do have but I haven't read yet. This is the not necessarily a follow-up, but I think the characters in this one feature in Fix Her Up, so it kind of makes sense to read them in order, I think. So I might not get to this one in January, but I will get to it ASAP. And then on the 28th, we've got one from Eric Smith, Don't Read the Comments. You've got to love a bit of fun about social media in January. How many arcs there? That's a lot of e-arcs I've got to read. And I also want to, get onto some more of my backlist titles. I've got books coming out of my ear holes. Not literally out of my ear holes. But also, subject to getting those read. At the start of February, I've also got, on the 1st, Not So Pure and Simple by Lamar Giles, which looks really interesting. And one that I'm really interested in on the 4th, day before my birthday. Yes, No, Maybe So, which is a collaboration by Becky Albertelli and Aisha Saeed. So watch out for all of those happening over January and hopefully the start of February as well, because that's when some come out. As far as my kind of updating of books, Goodreads is the best place to get me, so give me a click down below, send me a friend request and I'll add you, and that'll be my most place with reviews. People say to me, Olivia, you request a lot of arcs. I do, but I'm intrigued, and I try and do as best I can with them. January is a busy month for my arcs I've currently got. February's okay. March and April are just nightmares. And then it gets a bit quieter because I've got, you know what, I've got an arc for something that's not coming out till August. So I'm trying to get on my arcs this year and read. And then I think as far as buying new books, I want to prioritise my backlist. But if the arc captures my attention, I'll go on to buy a finished copy. I'll talk to you about that though in future wrap-ups and things. So that is the kind of thing I'm going for on my January TBR. What are you guys prioritising in January? Let me know down in the comments below. Are there any of these that you think I need to prioritise? Have a look at the Goodreads links. I'll link everything down below. It's a joy to see you, BookTube. Thank you for coming back to see me at Stagey Bookish. My name's Olivia and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye!